Another method I wanted to show is, from our sewing we have quite a bit of a thread. I gather up all this. I threw quite a number and I managed to gather only this much. I was working on projects that has black and orange and yellow, so I have threads that is like that. We can use this as well, and the same, I use a lace fabric again this time, and instead of just using scraps fabric, I'm going to add some remnant threads into the pocket, and then I'm going to sew with you see, because it's lace, right? So when you put in fabric in, it will be able to show. It can be seen. Actually, I like the effect of doing this and seeing how it turned out. So I'm going to put all these inside, fill it up a bit, fill up the corners, spread them out like this. All the remnants that I have, I'm going to fill them up. Those parts that I didn't manage to fill up because I forgot and I threw away my thread remnants, so I'm going to fill them up with scrap fabric and thread, so that it won't be so thick and my needle can handle while I do the decorative stitches on it. So I wanted all these bright things because it will be able to see through from the lace. And actually I would like to see how this turn out. To create a textured fabric with thread. So even if you have wool thread and if you knit and you have remnants wool thread, I think you can also put it inside. And I'm going to use decorative stitches and not free motion this round, and see how this will look like. I fill it up and I will come back to show you my sewing. For my sewing machine, I have the choice of, these are my decorative stitches, I, J, K, L, and if on the blue, I will have this on as my choices to do my decorative stitches. These are more utility. This one also can be used as a decorative, but I thought today I'm going to just use these decorative stitches to play with, just to practice and see how it looks. This round I'm not using free motion, just in case for people whose machine does not have the drop feed dog feature, so you can just use your decorative stitches to do this. And I have actually changed my thread to, because the lace is blue, so I change it to blue as well, and sewing the decorative stitch possibly around the flower decoration. So because it's blue, so what we want is to pack down all the small remnant fabric and the thread inside, and I want to see how it turned out. So I've set it to decorative stitch, and I'm using the petals as my guide. The petals of the flowers. So I wanted to show you how it looks like. Let me move this, and this really bulged out. I'm not sure whether the camera captures it or not. So there are some bulging up, and I think you can still see this bunch of thread here, and I think I'm going to sew slant like that and see how it goes. And this one I will sew it off camera because it will be too boring for you to see me sewing. So this is done with decorative stitches without dropping the feed dot, but because I use the color that is blue similar to the lace color, it is very difficult for you to see how the sewing is done. But I again use a remnant edge to fabric to be the backing. So this is what we did today, and this was with free motion, where we drop the feed dot and we sew. Actually we can turn corners easily for free motion, so we do circle, see. So like this one, we move more freely because the feed dot is dropped, so it doesn't hold the fabric for you anymore, and the driving is done by the sewer on top as we move the fabric. Yes, but else this one we have to be very conscious because we are sewing in straight lines. If I did move it like that slightly around the flowers, it can be done. So I did move it around the flowers like that, and because the stitch style I was using was this, you see, this is the stitch style. So at the back you can actually see my sewing, and they are mainly straight lines. I don't move in circles like this so much. This one can't be seen because I use white. So here we move in circles much more, where else this one I was using a decorative stitch but sewing them in quite straight line, and still can be done. I still have bulges, and it's textured also because of the lace that I use. And yeah, here I think I need to sew one line because there is nothing holding this down, so I want it all hold down, then I have to sew one more line here. Yeah, I hope this inspire you with more ideas for what you can do with your scraps.